6 Minutes Season 5. The Season of Unknowingness. The final chapter of the 6 Minute sequel.
There are kids in this world who are different. Special.
One of them found us.
And became family.
But her time ran out. And now, that girl is missing.
In this episode, I'll be breaking down the latest episode, 6 Minutes Season 5, Piece by Piece. Hey, Review Pop listeners, it's your Landon Mueller. We're here today talking about episode 29 of 6 Minute Season 5, and we're almost at that 30 episode point, and I feel like that's a big deal because I remember last season we had gotten to the 30 episode point. It was Out of the Space-Time Continuum, which was a huge episode. There was so much action, I think, and, we saw everything with the time phone, Holiday, Dr. Whittier, and, kind of both timelines slowly starting to collide. But in terms of this episode, it's really great. Everything with the airplane scene. I think there's just so much excitement and a lot of things to look forward to. I'm really kind of excited for Holiday exploring Hovey. I got a clip for that. But yeah, let's dive into it.
How did you pay for the ticket?
Let's just say Madame Fortuna convinced a sweet old lady that her dead husband really wanted her to be generous.
Well, that sounds a little...
Slide over, Purcell. Anders. Unless you want me to sit in between you two lovebirds.
Okay.
Yeah, this clip is great, and I love how unexpected it is. And we really kind of get to learn a lot about Sam, or young Monica's personality, in the sense that she's willing to kind of uproot her life and lie to her mom, and not even really lie, but she left a note for her mom, and I kind of love how James isn't really okay with that, but at the same time he's really glad that Sam's coming with. I think this clip's great. I love just the music cue and how it all works, and then the whole comment about lovebirds is great. And the reason I say that is because I think it kind of shows to James and Monica's, insecurities here. The fact that, they're starting to build a relationship and Katie's kind of pointing that out, and maybe they're a little bit uncomfortable and, taken aback by that. But I love just, this whole dynamic here and them all being together.
I know all about you, Brinley. And this wasn't part of the deal, Cyrus.
I know, I just thought... Brinley is the smartest person I know. She's creative and brave, and she plays a bunch of instruments.
Fine. Let's go.
This wasn't a part of the plan, and she doesn't like, Cyrus not being totally honest with her, and I feel like she's lost a little bit of trust in Cyrus, right? He wasn't honest and open with her, and I think just based off her history, she has a hard time trusting people, which, of course, she's built this bond with Cyrus, but at the same time, just everything with Angel and her mother, right? We saw a lot in Cyrus' Lost Tapes, and I'd love for Angel's mom to maybe come back in this season, but especially in Cyrus' Lost Tapes, we learned a lot about what that relationship was like between Angel and her mom. It wasn't great. Her mom had taken advantage of her, and now that we have this adult Angelica Graves, she's used to being the boss, being the leader. But I also love Brinley being here and just like her and Cyrus, growing closer to each other.
I didn't develop my electro powers until fairly recently, much to the chagrin of the monarch.
Is that why you almost burned our house down?
That was an accident. Any horse. Let's see.
Oh, look at you.
Look at me.
I am. Good job.
Yeah, so that's a bit of new information. From what I had gathered, I had thought that Casey had already had these powers for a long time, and I'd be really interested to learn more about that because we're in this new and changed 2025, and we of course already have all the episodes explaining how Casey got her powers originally, and I think that'll be a huge part of the Casey books, which I'm really interested to see how the Casey books are incorporated into the whole timeline and canon after everything we've seen in season 5, because of course that's a prequel that's about, Casey's upbringing at WhittierCorp, and so I guess somehow the timeline has to be restored for those to be applied in canon, but ultimately I'm really interested to learn more about, just Casey's powers. I also gotta point out Penn's comment at the end. It seems like he's a little, uncomfortable, but, he's trying to impress Casey and always say the right things, and I think that says a lot about Penn and just his personality.
We'll do whatever we can to keep you safe, right, everybody?
Right.
We're in this together. I'm just gonna go outside to get some firewood. It's a little chilly in here.
See you in about 5 seconds?
It's me. I'm in. Bertie Anders doesn't suspect a thing. Stick to the plan?
Yeah, there are so many pieces to this puzzle. I think it's so interesting with Badger how his comments are conflicting, right? The first thing he says is, "We're all in this together, I'm gonna help you, Penn." And then a second later we hear him talking to the mystery person, which is super interesting, because this is the mystery person that Brinley saw in the woods, and I'm not totally sure if maybe this person is Cam, right? I think it's interesting that he's referring to Bertie as Bertie Anders, kind of a full name thing, which makes me think, and Jess had said this on Rewind, maybe WhittierCorp is involved, but ultimately this is huge, right? He's working with this mystery person trying to sabotage the Anders. I really hope, Badger's not trying to take advantage of Bertie, but it totally makes sense why he'd do this, right? From what we've gathered, he doesn't remember everything. But I guess we'll just have to wait and find out more.
I think I saw Hovey, or an early prototype anyway. So I'm going to try to connect with the hoverboard, just in case,
Holiday, you're not authorized to...
I am now.
Yeah, so this is so great. I love her sending these messages to Cyrus as kind of a form of communication between them, and she doesn't expect Cyrus to hear any of these, right? It's just her wishing and kind of hoping that she was with her brother, and that's huge. It really shows how deep their dynamic and relationship goes, how much they value each other's company, I think. And it's crazy to think just how long they've been away from each other, right? We start Out of Time in 2023, and from what we heard at the start of Out of Time, Holiday was already away for a long time in this mission in the Arctic, and they're really close to at the end of season 4 when we saw all the portals opening up at Neverland. It was kind of a really close moment there, but I'm wondering if we're building up to a finale where they reunite in a really big sort of way.
This is not a good idea.
Attica! What? It's from an old movie.
Everyone calm down. You can't be in here.
Guys?
Holiday!
What are you doing here?
What do you think? We're rescuing you, of course.
I love how kind of the music cue works in that it's super funny. I mean, it's just, I think it's absolutely, hilarious seeing this. In spite of everything Holiday's been through, she just can see everyone coming to save her, and I love them trying to draw attention to Dr. Whittier, because of course they really do not like Dr. Whittier, right? After Holiday was kidnapped, and that was huge, and I'm curious to see maybe Sam's mom is going to try and find her, because obviously she left home. And so I think it'd be super interesting if maybe Sam's mom tried to contact Dr. Whittier and work something out there. Because certainly I don't think Sam's mom trusts Dr. Whittier, but at the same time, she probably wants to bring her daughter home. But ultimately, this clip is super interesting.
Play it, Ivan.
Hey, Dr. hey, Sai. Sorry, old habit.
Whose voice is that?
You won't believe where I am right now. Or maybe you would believe it. I could really use you, big brother.
Holiday.
Yeah, so this clip is huge. I mean, it sets up so much. And I'm totally interested to see if Cyrus will somehow get his memory back anytime soon. It's super interesting to see everything that will happen there, and I'm really excited for them to again, reunite. Thank you all so much for listening. If you enjoy the show, please leave a 5-star review. Until next time, this is Landon saying peace, love, and time travel.